Assalamu alaikum, let's explore this Islamic topic together. Hey, so, you know how we were talking about the Islamic Golden Age the other day? Well, I've been doing some reading. And I wanted to share something incredibly fascinating with you. The role of faith in their astronomical advancements. It's not just about science. It's a beautiful intertwining of faith, innovation, and a deep understanding of the cosmos. That's what really makes the story of Islamic astronomy during that period so compelling. Think about it, for many people, religion and science might seem like opposing forces, right? But the scholars of the Islamic Golden Age, roughly 8th to 13th centuries, saw them as completely compatible, even complementary. They believed that studying the universe was a way of understanding God's creation, a way of appreciating the divine handiwork. It wasn't a case of choosing sides, it was a holistic approach. Their faith actually fueled their scientific inquiry. Imagine the world then. The Islamic Empire stretched across vast swathes of land, from Spain to India. This geographical breadth meant a huge exchange of ideas, ancient Greek Indian mathematics, Persian knowledge, all coming together and being built upon. And at the heart of it all, was a deep-seated belief in the importance of knowledge and learning. Religious scholars were often also mathematicians, astronomers, and physicians, intellectual polymaths. The Quran itself emphasizes observation and contemplation of the natural world. Passages speak of the heavens, the stars, the sun, and the moon, all as manifestations of God's power and glory. So, studying astronomy wasn't just some intellectual exercise. It was seen as a form of worship, a way to draw closer to God by understanding His magnificent creation. It's like, if God created something so incredibly complex and beautiful, wouldn't you want to study it, understand it, marvel at its intricate workings? That's precisely the attitude these scholars possessed. This religious fervor translated into incredible practical achievements. Think about the advancements they made. They refined the astrolabe, an ancient instrument used for astronomical calculations and navigation, making it incredibly precise. They created intricate astronomical tables that predicted the movements of celestial bodies with remarkable accuracy, far exceeding anything seen before. These tables were crucial for navigation, for determining the precise times of prayer, and for calculating the timing of religious festivals like Ramadan. And the accuracy. They developed incredibly sophisticated mathematical tools. Algebra, for example, owes a significant debt to Islamic scholars. They were also masters of trigonometry, which was essential for their astronomical calculations. Their observations weren't just about mapping the stars. They were building a deep understanding of the cosmos, which was then translated into incredibly practical applications. Imagine building a vast empire, managing trade routes that spanned continents, and coordinating prayer times across such a diverse landscape, all relying on the sophisticated astronomical calculations of these scholars. Moreover, they weren't just passively accepting existing knowledge. They were constantly questioning, refining, and innovating. They built observatories, like the one in Maragha, which were centers of astronomical research and learning. These weren't just places to observe the stars. They were places of intellectual collaboration, where scholars from different backgrounds came together to share their knowledge and push the boundaries of what was known. One of the most beautiful aspects of this story is the collaborative nature of their work. They were constantly building upon the work of others, regardless of their background or origin. It was a collective endeavor, driven by a shared passion for knowledge and a shared faith. Their contributions weren't just limited to astronomy. They revolutionized mathematics, medicine, and philosophy, creating a rich intellectual legacy that continues to inspire us today. So, the significance of this period in Islamic history isn't just about the scientific advancements. It's about the way faith and reason worked together to produce something truly extraordinary. It's a powerful testament to the fact that faith and science are not necessarily mutually exclusive. In fact, for these scholars, their faith was the driving force behind their pursuit of knowledge, allowing them to achieve remarkable things that continue to shape our understanding of the universe. Even today, they saw the beauty of God's creation reflected in the intricate workings of the cosmos. And their devotion to understanding that beauty led them to make invaluable contributions to human knowledge. It's a truly inspiring story. Wouldn't you agree? It shows how a deep faith can, far from hindering progress, actually fuel it, driving us to explore, discover, and understand the wonders of the world around us. Hey, so, you wanna hear about the amazing story of Islamic astronomy during the Golden Age? It's seriously fascinating, a total blend of faith, brilliant minds, and some seriously impressive innovations. Think of it like this. Imagine a time, roughly the 8th to the 13th centuries, when the Islamic world was a major center of learning, a real powerhouse of intellectual energy. And astronomy, well, it was right at the heart of it all. It wasn't just about stargazing for fun, though that was definitely part of it. See, Islam places a huge emphasis on understanding God's creation, and the cosmos was seen as the ultimate masterpiece. The Quran itself encourages people to contemplate the heavens, to marvel at their complexity and beauty. So, studying astronomy wasn't just intellectually stimulating. It was considered a deeply spiritual act, a way to get closer to understanding God's grand design. It was like the ultimate science project, motivated by profound faith. Now, picture this: the Abbasid Caliphate, a vast empire stretching across North Africa, the Middle East, and parts of Europe. Think of it as a kind of global superpower at the time, with Baghdad as its dazzling capital. Under the patronage of these powerful caliphs, houses of wisdom, think supercharged libraries and universities, sprang up. These weren't just dusty repositories of old s. They were vibrant hubs of intellectual exchange, attracting scholars from all over the known world: Christians, Jews, Zoroastrians, and Muslims, all coming together to study, debate, and build upon each other's knowledge. And where things get truly exciting, the Greeks, particularly Ptolemy, had already made incredible contributions to astronomy with their geocentric model. That's the Earth-centered universe idea. But Islamic scholars didn't just passively accept everything they read. They were incredibly critical thinkers, constantly questioning, refining, and building upon existing knowledge. They meticulously translated Greek, Indian, and Persian astronomical into Arabic, preserving and expanding these crucial scientific works. Think of them as the ultimate librarians and editors, ensuring these ancient wisdoms weren't lost to time. One of the amazing things about this period was the sheer volume of original contributions. Scholars like al-Battani, often called the Ptolemy of Islam, made incredibly precise observations, refining the calculations of the Earth's tilt and the length of the year. His Zij al-Sabi, astronomical tables, became a standard reference work for centuries, even influencing European astronomers. Then there's Ibn Yunus, whose monumental Hakmite tables were filled with incredibly detailed astronomical observations, including precise measurements of the sun's movements and eclipses. These weren't just theoretical works either. They were practical, used for things like accurately determining prayer times and the direction of Makkah, which is crucial in Islamic practice. Beyond these individual giants, there was a collaborative spirit. Think of it as a massive, centuries-long research project. They developed sophisticated astronomical instruments, astrolabes, for example, which were like handheld computers for astronomers, allowing them to calculate the positions of stars and planets. They created massive observatories, some of which were incredibly advanced for their time, allowing them to make even more precise measurements. They worked on perfecting mathematical tools, developing trigonometry far beyond what the Greeks had achieved. These weren't just isolated geniuses. They were part of a dynamic network, constantly sharing ideas and pushing the boundaries of knowledge. And the beauty of it all is that this incredible scientific endeavor wasn't separate from their faith. Quite the opposite, in fact. The drive to understand the cosmos stemmed from a deep religious conviction. A desire to comprehend God's creation and appreciate its awe-inspiring complexity. The meticulous observations, the refined calculations, all of it was a testament to their faith and a form of worship in itself. The legacy of Islamic Golden Age astronomy is profound and far-reaching. Their innovations, their instruments, their mathematical techniques, they all laid the groundwork for later astronomical developments in Europe and beyond. Their contributions weren't just footnotes in history. They were pivotal steps forward in our understanding of the universe. It's a story of faith inspiring innovation, of collaboration breaking down barriers, and of a golden age where science and spirituality intertwined in a remarkable way. It's a story I could talk about for hours, to be honest. So, what else are you curious about? We could talk about specific instruments, or perhaps some of the individuals in more detail, or maybe delve into the impact their work had on later scientific revolutions. Let me know what piques your interest. Hey, so, we were talking about that book, The Divine Hand in Islamic Golden Age Astronomy, right? We covered the beginning, the setting the scene, the incredible intellectual ferment happening across the Islamic world after the Prophet Muhammad's death. Remember how I mentioned the emphasis on learning, the translation movement? Okay, now buckle up, because things get really interesting in the middle chapters. This is where we dive deep into the actual astronomical breakthroughs. It's not just about who did what, but how they did it, and what drove them. And it's not all just about star charts and calculations, although there's plenty of that. It's about the fascinating interplay between deep religious faith and groundbreaking scientific innovation. That's what makes this period so unique. Imagine, you are living in Baghdad, or Cordoba, or Cairo during this golden age. Maybe 9th, 10th, 11th century. The caliphate's at its height, or at least relatively stable in many places. There's a vast network of scholars, libraries bursting with ancient Greek. Remember, they preserved a lot of classical knowledge, and a general societal appreciation for intellectual pursuits. It's not that everyone was a scholar, of course, but there was a widespread respect for learning, a cultural value that really fueled this explosion of knowledge. One of the things that really struck me reading the book was how deeply intertwined astronomy was with Islamic faith. The Quran speaks often of the heavens, the stars, the cosmos. They're not just beautiful decorations in the sky, but signs of God's power and majesty. So, studying astronomy wasn't some secular pursuit divorced from religious belief. It was seen as a way to better understand God's creation, to appreciate the intricate design of the universe, to find evidence of God's handiwork in the precise movements of celestial bodies. Think about it, the incredibly precise calculations needed to create accurate calendars, predict eclipses, or even navigate by the stars. This wasn't just about practical applications, although they were certainly important. Think agriculture, trade, religious observances. It was also a deeply spiritual endeavor. These astronomers weren't just measuring distances and charting constellations. They were aimed to grasp the divine order of the cosmos, to unravel the secrets hidden within God's magnificent creation. The book really highlights the contributions of individual scholars, men and women. Though often less is known about the women's roles due to the historical record. Sadly, it talks about figures like al-Battani, who refined astronomical models and created incredibly accurate star catalogues, or al-Biruni, who was not only an astronomer but also a geographer, historian, and polymath, an absolute genius who made significant contributions to numerous fields. And then there's Ibn al-Haytham, known in the West as Al-Hasan, who revolutionized optics and our understanding of light, impacting astronomy enormously. His work on the camera obscura, for instance, was groundbreaking. These people weren't working in isolation. The book describes the thriving intellectual networks, scholars writing to each other, debating ideas, building upon each other's work. They were part of a collaborative effort, constantly refining existing knowledge and pushing the boundaries of human understanding. This wasn't just a top-down, centrally controlled enterprise. The flourishing of knowledge happened in diverse places, with different schools of thought and approaches. The middle chapters also delve into the tools they used. Imagine the incredible ingenuity required to create incredibly accurate astronomical instruments, astrolabes, quadrants, armillary spheres, their mathematical knowledge. These weren't simple devices. They were sophisticated technological marvels that allowed for incredibly precise observations and calculations. The book beautifully describes the craftsmanship involved, how these instruments were often works of art as well as science. And it's not all about the glamorous, big discoveries. The book also emphasizes the everyday work involved, the meticulous observations, the long hours spent calculating, the dedication to accuracy. Astronomy was a demanding field that required both intellectual brilliance and immense patience. It was a long of incremental progress, building upon the work of previous generations, constantly refining models and improving accuracy. But here's the powerful thing. This incredible intellectual pursuit wasn't seen as contradicting their faith, but rather as deeply connected to it. The pursuit of knowledge, the search for understanding, was seen as a sacred duty, a way to draw closer to God. This holistic approach, this fusion of faith and reason, is what made the Islamic Golden Age so exceptional, and what the book really brings to life. It wasn't a conflict between science and religion. It was a harmonious collaboration, both enriching each other. So, yeah, the middle of the book really gets into the nitty-gritty of the discoveries, the people behind them, and the fascinating cultural and religious con that made it all possible. It's not just a history of astronomy. It's a story of faith, innovation, and the enduring human quest for understanding, and a testament to what can be achieved when intellectual curiosity and deep faith work hand in hand. We should definitely continue discussing this. There's so much more to explore. Okay, so we've been talking about this incredible period, the Islamic Golden Age, and how its advancements in astronomy just blew minds. Right? We've covered the amazing instruments, the brilliant minds like Ibn al-Haytham and al-Battani, and how they were meticulously charting the stars, improving calendars, and generally revolutionizing our understanding of the cosmos. But how does it all wrap up? Well, it's not like there was one big final conference and everyone went home. It was a gradual winding down. But the legacy, oh my God, the legacy is just phenomenal. The divine hand part is really key here. Remember, these weren't scientists working in some secular vacuum. Their faith was intrinsically linked to their work. For them, studying the heavens wasn't just about scientific curiosity. It was a way to better understand God's creation. The cosmos was seen as a testament to Allah's power, wisdom, and artists. Think of it like this. Imagine being an artist incredibly inspired by the beauty of nature. You're compelled to recreate it. Not to replace it or diminish its creator's glory, but to honor it. That's kind of the mindset these astronomers had. Their meticulous observations, their mathematical models, all of it was a form of worship. A way to delve deeper into the divine plan. As the Golden Age transitioned, several factors played a role in the shift. Political upheaval and the rise and fall of different empires certainly had an impact. Think about the shifting sands of power, different dynasties coming to power, different priorities. Scientific patronage, which had been so crucial to the flourishing of astronomy, became less consistent in some regions. Res sometimes dried up, and they shifted to other areas. It wasn't a sudden stop, more of a gradual slowing down of that incredible pace of innovation. But the knowledge didn't vanish. Even as the Golden Age, as a distinct period concluded, the advancements they made continued to spread. Their works were translated into Latin and other languages, profoundly influencing the European Renaissance and the scientific revolution centuries later. Think about it. The very foundations of modern astronomy. From our understanding of planetary motion to the development of astrolabes and other instruments, owe a huge debt to the work done during this period. What's fascinating is that the Islamic world continued to make significant contributions to astronomy, even after the height of the Golden Age. It wasn't a complete cessation of activity. It was more of an evolution. While the sheer volume of groundbreaking discoveries might have slowed, the tradition of studying the heavens remained a vital part of Islamic scholarship. Observatories were still built, observations were still made, and knowledge was still passed down through generations of scholars. The legacy lived on. And that's a really important point. The legacy of the Golden Age wasn't just about specific discoveries or inventions. It was about the establishment of a scientific methodology, a rigorous approach to observation and calculation that became a model for future scientific endeavors. The emphasis on empirical evidence, mathematical precision, and the collaborative nature of scientific inquiry, these were all hallmarks of the Golden Age and continued to shape scientific thought long after. So, the divine hand in this story isn't just about a religious interpretation of the cosmos. It's also about how the deep-seated belief in a divinely ordered universe actually fueled the pursuit of knowledge. This faith didn't hinder scientific advancement, it inspired it. It gave meaning and purpose to the painstaking work. The late nights spent observing the stars. The endless calculations. It provided a framework for understanding the universe. Not as something chaotic and arbitrary, but as a magnificent, intricately designed creation. The story ends, not with a dramatic finale, but with a quiet, powerful continuation. The knowledge, the methods, the spirit of inquiry, these all lived on, influencing generations of scientists far beyond the geographical boundaries of the Islamic world. It's a story of faith, innovation, and a profound appreciation for the intricate beauty of the cosmos, a beauty that both inspired and was further illuminated by the relentless pursuit of scientific understanding. And that's why the Islamic Golden Age's contribution to astronomy remains so vitally important. Even today, it's not just a chapter in history, it's a foundational pillar of the scientific world we live in. It's a reminder of how faith and reason, far from being incompatible, can beautifully complement each other in the pursuit of knowledge and truth. Hey, so we were talking about that amazing period in history, the Islamic Golden Age, right? And how incredible their advancements were, especially in astronomy. That whole, the divine hand in Islamic Golden Age astronomy thing, it really got me thinking. What does it all mean for Muslims today? It's more than just a history lesson. You know, think about it. This wasn't some secular pursuit driven purely by scientific curiosity. Although that was definitely a huge part of it. It was deeply intertwined with their faith. For them, studying the cosmos wasn't just about understanding the universe's mechanics. It was about understanding God's creation, appreciating His artists and boundless wisdom. They saw the intricate movements of the planets, the cycles of the sun and moon, as a reflection of God's perfect design. It was a way of getting closer to Him, through observation and understanding. Imagine these brilliant minds, Al-Battani, Ibn al-Haytham, Al-Hasan, Omar Khayyam, poring over astronomical charts, meticulously making observations, developing complex mathematical models. They weren't just making calculations, they were contemplating the divine order. Their work wasn't a challenge to faith, it was an expression of it. They weren't into replace God's role in the universe, they were into understand it better. That's a crucial distinction. Their faith fueled their innovation. The need for accurate astronomical calculations, for example, was vital for determining the precise times for prayer, for the direction of the Qibla towards Makkah, and for the timing of important religious holidays. So, it wasn't just theoretical, it had practical, deeply religious applications. Their work wasn't confined to the mosques or madrasas, schools. It was a collaborative effort across different spheres of society, showing a beautiful connection between spirituality and practicality. This wasn't some abstract idea. It was a tangible part of their daily lives. And their innovation wasn't just about religious observances. The improved astronomical instruments they developed, the more accurate calendars they created, the advancements in mathematics they made, these all had far-reaching consequences, influencing navigation, agriculture, and even the arts. Their knowledge spread across the world, influencing European scholarship and contributing significantly to the scientific revolution. Centuries later, think about the impact of their work on how we understand time, space, and the universe itself. It's a legacy that resonates even today. So, what does this mean for Muslims today? I think it speaks to the powerful synergy between faith and reason. It reminds us that it's not a case of choosing one over the other. They can, and should, complement and enhance each other. The Islamic Golden Age shows us that a deep commitment to faith can inspire incredible intellectual and scientific achievements. It challenges the often perceived conflict between science and religion. It highlights the importance of seeking knowledge, not just for its own sake, but for the sake of understanding God's creation more deeply. It's also a reminder of the importance of collaboration and the exchange of ideas. The scholars of the Islamic Golden Age didn't work in isolation. They built upon the work of others, from different cultures and backgrounds. They showed us that intellectual progress thrives in an environment of open dialogue and mutual respect. This openness is a crucial lesson for us today in a world that can sometimes feel fragmented and polarized. Furthermore, it inspires a sense of pride and responsibility. It's a reminder of the incredible contributions that Muslims have made to the world. And it encourages us to strive for excellence in all fields of endeavor. This isn't about boasting, but about acknowledging our heritage and using it as motivation to contribute meaningfully to the world today. The fact that our ancestors were at the forefront of scientific and intellectual pursuits should inspire us to be equally ambitious and innovative in our time. And finally, I think it encourages a deeper appreciation for the beauty and complexity of the universe. It reminds us to look up at the stars, not just as points of light, but as manifestations of God's infinite power and wisdom. It encourages a sense of wonder and awe, a feeling of humility in the face of the vastness of creation. It inspires us to reflect on our place in the universe and our responsibility to protect and cherish it. In a world often obsessed with the material, this kind of spiritual connection to the cosmos feels incredibly important. So, the divine hand in Islamic Golden Age astronomy. It's not just a historical account, it's a powerful message for Muslims today. A message of faith, innovation, and a profound connection to the cosmos, a message that reminds us of our potential, our heritage, and our responsibility to continue the quest for knowledge and understanding, always guided by our faith. It's a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge and the worship of God aren't mutually exclusive. They're two sides of the same coin. Goodbye, may Allah bless us all. That's our discussion for today.